How could you do this to my girlfriend? We're best friends. Ha ha. I got back at you for your bad joke about me. Now we're even. My name is Alex and I was a taxi driver. Now, before you roll your eyes and imagine me as an ordinary taxi driver, let me assure you, my journey was not ordinary at all. You see, I had an uncanny ability to strike up conversations with all sorts of people. I enjoyed the moments when I was able to learn about the lives of strangers, laugh together, or even discuss the subtleties of life, politics, and pizza toppings. But what really set me apart from others was my linguistic abilities. I wasn't just fluent in 1 or 2 languages, oh no. I could speak 3 languages fluently: English, Spanish, and German. My taxi wasn't just a vehicle, it was a cultural exchange on wheels. And then there was Maria, the love of my life. A brilliant German teacher with the same warm heart as her smile. Maria caught my attention the moment our eyes met on the shelves of the central library. Good afternoon, girl. You are very beautiful today. What are you reading?
Hello, I read books in German. I am a teacher and I teach this language.
She was there, surrounded by volumes of German literature, lost in the world of words. I couldn't help but be charmed by her presence. You are very beautiful. By the way, I know 3 foreign languages. I can help you with it. Maria laughed and appreciated my joke.
And you're funny. Sit down at the table. We can talk to you on various topics in German.
Aren't you afraid to show your poor knowledge of German? Maria laughed out loud again. It was really funny because, let me remind you, she taught German. Our chance meeting turned into something beautiful. We started meeting regularly in the library, and our conversations went beyond small talk. She introduced me to the complexities of German literature, and I shared my stories about night adventures in a taxi. It was an unlikely connection, but it seemed to me that it was fate. Maria was unlike anyone I've ever met. Her passion for teaching German was palpable, and her eyes lit up when she talked about the nuances of the language. We could sit for hours in the library, sharing ideas and laughing amid the quiet hum of shelves crammed with knowledge. It was during one of these library dates that I plucked up the courage to invite her for a cup of coffee. To my joy, she agreed, and from that moment our relationship developed into something truly special. Our first date took place in a cozy cafe, where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mixed with the warmth of our conversation. But our story has not been without difficulties. Maria's class schedule and my irregular taxi shifts often forced me to carve out moments between classes and trips. We need to plan our time properly so that we can communicate and see each other more.
You're right. We both have a lot of work to do. We need to try to do it.
And yet these stolen moments have become our most precious treasures. We stole kisses in the park, exchanged furtive glances in crowded halls, and slipped away into a world that was only ours. I want to introduce you to a group of friends who have been an integral part of my life. Among them, Mark stood out as my closest friend. He was one of those friends who could turn even the darkest day into a real comedy show. Our friendship was a constant exchange of witty remarks and playful banter. We had a tight-knit group, a group of losers who somehow just got together. There was Sarah, a music fan, who could name a melody after hearing the first note. Then along came Jack, our resident tech guru, who could troubleshoot anything from a smartphone to a spaceship. Last but not least, there was Emma, a free spirit with an uncanny ability to turn ordinary events into adventures. Our get-togethers were legendaries, from impromptu karaoke evenings to marathons of board games that dragged on until early morning. Mark, with his talent for reincarnation, was the soul of the party, leaving us in suspense with every performance. So, now I will tell you the most interesting. It was a normal weekend, and I had just finished a taxi driver shift. I was just finishing up, anticipating some downtime, when my phone rang with a message from none other than Mark. The message was short but intriguing. "Hey, dude, there's a big crowd at the bar tonight. Are you in? Don't ask such stupid questions." Of course, yes. Without hesitating for a second, I dropped my plans for a quiet evening and began to act. I packed up, made sure that the taxi was parked safely, and rushed to meet my friends. The prospect of spending an evening with the company was always tempting. It was a guaranteed reason for laughter, memorable jokes, and a good time. When I pulled up to pick up Mark, he jumped into the passenger seat with his mischievous smile. "Ready for epic fun, my friend?" he exclaimed, slapping me on the back. "Of course. Now we'll pick up the rest of our friends and go straight to the bar." I could practically feel the energy coming from him. Next up were the rest of the team, Sarah, Jack, and Emma. Our car ride to the bar was accompanied by a cacophony of laughter, and Mark led the charge, telling ridiculous stories and sharing hilarious observations. The anticipation was palpable. An unforgettable night was waiting for us. The bar was filled with music, lights, and the infectious energy of the crowd. It seemed that everyone knew us. Our arrival was greeted with cheers and a warm welcome from familiar faces. We were local legends, a band that knew how to have a good time and spread joy wherever we went. Drinks were poured, conversations flowed, and dance moves were practiced on the dance floor. The night was just beginning, and we were in our element. Our laughter blended seamlessly with the music, and for a while all worries and responsibilities were forgotten. It was the embodiment of life in the present moment. We danced, we sang and laughed until our sides ached. The bonds of friendship were stronger than ever, and every look, every common joke strengthened the unspoken bond between us. We lived in the present moment, absorbing every second of this exciting night. The crowd embraced us like old friends, and the bar seemed like an extension of our own living room. People came up to us, sharing stories about how our antics became legendary on the local scene. Amid the laughter and music in the bar, I made a joke about Mark's mom, just a playful joke, at least that's what it seemed to me. The audience burst into laughter, but Mark's reaction was anything but hilarious. His face turned purple, and there was a strange tension in the air. I assumed he was just playing along, but when the laughter died down, Mark's voice cut through the noise. "You know what's really funny? I slept with your girlfriend." The words hung in the air like a thick fog that had descended on the room. My initial reaction was disbelief, a burst of laughter in response to what I took to be another highlight. But Mark's expression said something else. He wasn't joking. I looked in his eyes for at least some sign of a joke, at least some sign that this was just another trick of his. But the truth hit me like a sledgehammer. He wasn't fooling around. The laughter around us died down, replaced by an awkward silence that was almost deafening. I looked at Mark, my mind racing, trying to digest what he had just confessed. Leaving the bar with Mark, my heart was pounding wildly, and everything was mixed up in my head. I needed to understand, to comprehend the bomb that he dropped. We walked in tense silence, my frustration growing with every step. Finally, I could no longer bear the weight of silence. I turned to Mark and demanded, "Is this some kind of twisted joke? Tell me you're messing with my head." But Mark's gaze was steady, his expression unshakable. "It's not a joke, man. I'm telling you the truth." A whirlwind of disbelief, anger, and betrayal raged in my mind. He demanded an explanation. I needed to know how this could have happened. Mark's laugh rang out, harsh and bitter. It's really simple. One night at a party, things got heated between us, and, well, you know the rest. A friend I trusted, a man who was like a brother to me, betrayed me in the worst possible way. As my anger intensified, I raised my voice, demanding to know how he could have done something so hurtful. "How dare you? We're best friends. We spend all the time together and help each other in bad times." Mark's laughter intensified, a mocking sound that cut through my already shattered nerves. "Come on, Alex, it's not like you've ever taken her seriously. We were just having a little fun." Those words hit me like a slap in the face, a cruel reminder of how Mark assessed the depth of my emotions. At that moment, the severity of his actions and his callous disregard for my feelings became unbearable. My fists clenched, my chest heaved with anger, and I struggled to keep my emotions under control. Returning home, my heart was heavy with Mark's confession and the harsh reality that it revealed. How could he do that? And why did my girlfriend agree to this? Why didn't I know about it? When I crossed the threshold, I couldn't shake the feeling that my world was collapsing before my eyes. I was determined to face Maria, to demand the truth, and to understand how she could betray me with someone I considered a brother. "Maria, how could you do that? We are close people with you, and have been in a relationship for a long time." The plates I threw at the wall shattered, reflecting the turmoil inside me. I didn't hold back. I bombarded her with questions, my voice rising with each accusation. She hesitated, tears welled up in her eyes, and then the dam burst. The truth came out, the truth that she cheated on me with Mark during one of the parties. The room seemed to spin around me, the walls closing in as the reality of her words dawned on me. The woman I loved, the woman with whom I imagined the future, destroyed my trust and betrayed my heart. Every memory, every moment we shared, seemed tainted. I struggled to grasp the scale of what had happened. The pain was similar to physical, a heaviness settled in my chest. I wanted to scream, cry, lash out at her, but all I could get out was an intermittent whisper asking her how she could do this to us. Maria's tears flowed like a river as she explained, detailing the moments that led to her infidelity. Her words, no matter how sincere they were like daggers, each of which plunged deeper into my wounded heart. How could our love have collapsed so completely? After the heartbreaking encounter with Maria, my emotions turned into a violent storm raging inside me. The friends I trusted, the love I invested, everything seemed to be broken fragments of a life that no longer made sense. I knew I needed to break out of the stranglehold of my past, and that's exactly what I did. Fuck it all. I don't want to live here and see these people. I found myself in another city, far from the reminders of my former life. With my last savings, I bought a small house, a place that was supposed to be my refuge. It was a blank canvas waiting for me to transform it into a space reflecting the new chapter one was starting. I rolled up my sleeves and plunged headlong into the task at hand. Physical labor has given my mind a respite from the pain that has plagued me for so long. Little by little, the house began to reflect my own spirit, lively, cheerful, and full of possibilities. The shelves were lined with my favorite books, each of which was a testament to the stories I cherished and the knowledge that supported me through the darkest times. In this new haven, I have created a personal workspace for my online projects. It was a place where I could channel my creativity, connect with the world, and restore my sense of purpose. The online sphere allowed me to interact with people without the attributes of physical presence. It was a new start when I could rethink myself on my own terms. When I moved into my new home, I experienced a sense of liberation that I hadn't experienced in a long time. With my favorite books lined up along the shelves and the hum of my online searches filling the air, I found solace in solitude. In the silence of my new home, I had plenty of time to reflect on the lessons that life had taught me. I realized that while friendship can be fickle and love fleeting, the only permanent relationships I had with myself were. Do you think the guy did the right thing? Write your opinion in the comments. I will be glad to read it. And also, subscribe to the channel. I love you.